Hello, my name is Julio Alvarez. We are the sixth team, and we are going to talk you about how can we name the hydrocarbons and what is an alkane, or an aromatics, that things. We need to know that name hydrocarbons is very important because we can know what what are the chemical composition. First of all, we need to understand what is the UPAC. It's the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. It's an organization that do a book when where where they name all the hydrocarbons that exist in the world. There are a lot of hydrocarbons. That is the methane, ethene, the propene. There are a lot. So this video will be very interesting because this is a very funny topic, and this will be very useful for you and for us to understand better how to name hydrocarbons. So let's begin.
You may be wondering what a hydrocarbon is. A hydrocarbon is an organic compound made only by hydrogen and carbon atoms, where hydrogen are attached to carbon, having at least four bonds. There are many types of hydrocarbons. There are the saturated hydrocarbons that have as many hydrogen atoms as they can for each carbon, and there is unsaturated carbons which have double or triple bonds between some of the carbon atoms. Of the bonds, there are recognized three types of hydrocarbons, three main types, which are alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes. Alkanes have the four bonds for every carbon. Alkenes have double bond between two carbons, and alkynes have a triple bond between two carbon atoms. Are the aliphatic hydrocarbons, and also there is the cycloalkanes, which are a type of alkane that contain a carbon ring but not a benzene ring.
I'm going to be teaching you how to name alkanes. First, we have to know that an alkane is an hydrocarbon with only single bonds. So the IUPAC says that first we have to count the carbons in the parent chain, which is the longest chain. And I'm going to show you what I did here. So first I had my parent chain. This is the longest chain of carbons. Then the second step is number them, locate the substituents in the simplest numbers. We had a substituent here, so if I start from here, the substituent would be on number 2. And from here would be number 3, so I decided to start from here. And that's how I numbered until number 6. Then name each substituent, place this name in the group before the parent chain name. So I had 3 substituents. This was methyl, methyl, and ethyl. Then, if the same alkyl substituent repeats, what happens here, use a prefix. For example, in carbon number 2, we have 2 methyls. So what I did was to put 2, 2 dimethyl, the prefix for 2 methyls. Then, if it says when different alkyl groups are attached to the same parent chain, we have to use a hyphenus to separate them. And finally, we have to write the entire name, using hyphenus to separate numbers from words and commas to separate numbers. So first we had to, we also had to do an alphabetical order. So here's ethyl, that's what I put number 4, dot ethyl, then number 2, 2, dimethyl, because there are 2, and finally, how many carbons are there? It's 6, and the parent chain, so it's X and ane for alkane.
Alkynes are organic molecules made of the functional group carbon-carbon triple bond. They are unsaturated hydrocarbons, and like the alkenes that they have a suffix "in," the alkynes have the suffix "ine." So let's go to check how to name them correctly.
So first, we write the chemical formula of our alkyne. Next, the next step is to write a numeration in every hydrocarbon. So we can see that in the row number 4, we have a methyl, and we have to write it first and then the triple bond in the second column. And because there are 6 carbons, it's a X, and with the prefix of the alkyne, converts in an hexene.
Now, alkenes. First of all, we have to know what alkenes are. Alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons that contain one or more double covalent bonds between carbon atoms in a chain. And we have to know there are certain rules for naming alkenes. For example, the branch chain must include double or triple bond. Number the carbons from the ending closest to the bond. Then we have to indicate the location of the bond. And change the ending "ane" for "in." So now we will see an example of alkene. This is example, and we will follow the rules. First, we have to identify the longest continuous carbon chain, which is a branch, and this is it. We will circle them. Then, we will have to number the carbons starting from the ending closest to a substituent. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. Then we have to identify the substituents, which are the alkyl groups. This is one alkyl group, and this is other alkene group. And we will have to name them. So this one up here is methyl, and the other one is propyl. Then we have to name the alkyl group alphabetically indicating their location. So we have 4 methyl, then we have 2 propyl. I'm sorry, Miss Ed. Yes. And we have to name all of it. So it's 1 hexene. And that's how you name alkenes. For naming aromatic compounds, we have to name them according to the alkyl groups. For example, this. It has CH2, CH3. Then we have to know that this is ethyl benzene. And this one, as it has CH2, CH2, CH3, we have to know that this is propyl benzene. And that's how you name aromatics. My conclusion about these topics is that at the beginning they were difficult and I didn't know how to solve them. I didn't know if they were correct and if I was going to be okay solving them because they were too weird for me. I didn't see them. And I have an awful experience with them, and the last semester in which I didn't know how to solve them, and my last teacher didn't explain me that subject much. But right now, thanks to Miss Leilania and everything that I have learned, I can conclude that they are helpful to me because they teach me how to be more related with organic chemistry, and I found them in a very relaxing way to calm your stress, because to name them and with practice them, I can conclude that I can learn more from chemistry too.
In conclusion, I think that naming hydrocarbons is very important because they will be, first of all, that will be useful in the external global exam. But also it's important because we will know what is the structure of the thing that we are naming, the structure of the hydrocarbon, the filling model, the source. We can know a lot of things only because we are naming it. So it's very important to learn how will be named that.
I can say that hydrocarbons are one of the most important things that exist in the earth because we are formed majorly by them. And also it is important to know how to form the different type of hydrocarbons to know how is everything structured.
We can conclude that this was a very important topic, and we basically learned not just to name the organic compounds, but also how to teach someone else to name them. And at a personal level, I think this has helped me so much to understand, because I didn't really quite understand at the beginning, especially with aromatics. So yeah, it has been really helpful. So thanks for watching.